video. This is a video that I watched change my perspective on business.
You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown. And I love it. Buster Douglas got knocked out. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up. It was almost a 10 count. He was stumbling. They were 4, 3, 2, 1. And ding, ding, ding. Saved by the bell. He goes to his corner. The whole world is like, oh, that's it. Once he comes back out, that's it. Mike's going to just hammer him. And exactly that. Mike Tyson came out like, I got him. I got this kid up against the rope. Listen to me. Many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope. You can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back. The world was shocked. Goliath has been knocked down. What happened? And they went to Buster Douglas and they asked Buster Douglas simply like, what happened? And Buster Douglas said, listen to me. It's real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world that I was going to beat Mike Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died. Buster Douglas had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. And he knocked Mike Tyson out simply because his why was greater than that punch. His why was greater than defeat. His why was greater than his trial and his tribulation. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is, and your why isn't strong, you're going to get knocked out every single day.
Yeah. So yeah, that really put into perspective a lot of things. And if you guys can relate with having a strong why, let me just hear exactly how many people can relate with a story like that. You know, just give me a yes if you can think to yourself, sometimes when there's a big reason behind you doing something, that can actually be a big benefactor towards your successes. You know, I feel like when there's no reason to win, there's so many reasons to quit. Does that make sense? You can have a million reasons, to do well, and it can be that one thing, and it's, it takes it all away from you. So definitely, your reason doesn't just have to be general. That's why people, when they have, unrealistic, or maybe not just unrealistic, but materialistic, maybe not something powerful enough. Like if Buster Douglas, if they told him you're gonna make £1 million from that fight if you beat Mike Tyson, he might not won, but his mom, who's laying in her deathbed, told him you're going to beat Mike Tyson. That was the thing that probably got him up and got him fighting and made him win. So that's something that we're going to speak about. This call, like I said, it's not going to be a long call, but very informative, very to the point, and hopefully we can dive in together. So real quick, I'm going to again share screen and go back into the presentation. We're going to start this thing, and we're going to conversate together. So first and foremost, what I want you guys to think about is, me being a chairman of 100 in company, it's a big blessing. But as soon as I started, I didn't want to look left, right, anywhere. I wanted to make a decision. Hey, Zain, do I really want to do this? Because when you first get started, you just do it based upon a sudden type of interest. Does that mean someone might have told you about it? You might trust them. You might respect them. You might like the concept. And so what happens is that, you get started because maybe of someone or something, but have you really made a decision? Or have you just made, an agreement with yourself? So a decision is literally like plain blank to the point. Now, there's many things that come with a decision. First and foremost, when you make a decision, whether you're a gentleman or a lady, it comes with zero expectation circumstances. What does that mean? Having an expectation come with circumstances meaning that it's like me, when I first got married, I made the decision to get married, but I don't get married based upon, if my wife wakes up and makes me breakfast every morning. Yeah, that's an expectation based on circumstances. Or if trial and error comes in the way, I can then leave my wife and go find another woman. So again, it's based on what? Expectation and circumstances. So when I sign up to this business, I looked at it as a commitment, as though I'm going into a marriage, or I'm going into, I'm putting my life savings into a business. If you treat this as a $325 opportunity, you're going to do it. like a $325 opportunity. And a $325 or $255 opportunity is not something that gets you out of bed. Let's be real. Let's be very authentic in this call. And let me speak to you as though, you're one of my chairmen, or you're one of the P5s, or you're someone who's really in the company, really doing this, really doing everything you can. Okay. Now that we have over 1,000 people on the call, I want you guys to understand a decision can be made at any point. This is the great thing about it. You can be right now 4 months in, 5 months in, 6 months in, 1 year in, 1 day, and you can make a decision today that, look, this is what I'm going to do. I don't care how big your mountain is. I don't care how easy your mountain is. I'm going to climb this one, right? This is something that I want to do based on my inclination. This is my decision. That another reason why another thing that will come into competition with your decision is time. Many people make a decision not just on circumstances, or if this happens, they make a decision based upon time. Or if I don't make chairman in 6 months, I'm out. If I don't make 6 figures in trading in 1 year, I'm out. If I don't make how many times you get, if I don't make my subscription every month, I'm out. Do you guys know 92% of traditional businesses don't even expect profit off their traditional business in the first year? They only want to make a return of their investment within the first year. They don't even think about profit in their first year. Why? Because they've put a lot of money down, they made it, and they understand that is how it goes. That is the normality. So the same thing like a traditional business, you can treat this in the same kind of context. You can come into this company and be like, you know what? I'm going to act like I put my life savings in. I'm going to under promise and over deliver, hopefully. So that is where my mindset comes in. And look, whether it's 6 months or 6 years, that is my project. That's something I'm working on, and that's my developmental game. Something that D.L. Wood said in one of my trainings today. He said that you never have a weak leg, you have a developmental leg. And that makes sense. You can't have a weak leg, because how many times does your weak leg become a strong leg? Right? And then that strong leg becomes your weak leg. And so your business is always in developmental stages. It's never going to be what you want it to be at the time you want it to be. I remember asking David, I said, David, man, it's taking me a long climb to get to chairman. He said, I said, I don't know what I need. I got the people. He said, Zain, if you had the people, you already be chairman, right? He said, you ain't got think about it like this. If you already have everyone you need to get what you want, you would already be there. You would already be there. Right? So you got to always think, I haven't signed up my best rep yet. I haven't signed up my best trader yet. I haven't done my best trading yet. I haven't done my best presentation yet. You always got to fry for bigger. So when you make that decision, don't let no one sway you, right? There's many things that are going to come. And the third and final thing, when it comes to circumstances, aside from time, the third thing that's going to come is dream stealers. Now we want to talk about this straight away. Normally I go through this at the end of the presentation, but I want to talk about it straight away, because in the beginning stages, when you make a decision, the first type of people you get hit by is people, right? How many of you know people? Everyone know people, right? We know people, right? So if we know people, and people are the backbone based upon skepticality, based upon negativity, because you're not going to get nothing on the news. You're not going to turn on TV and be like, I am the scam on BBC News. No, you're not going to get that. You're going to get it from people on YouTube, people on Google, right? People in person, people in your work, people in your class, people in your surroundings, right? And you know what's crazy? My parents was one of those people. When I first signed up to the opportunity, my parents were the first people that said, Zain, can you get a refund? I said, yes. They give me 7 days. She said, what day is it? I said, it's 4th day. She said, perfect. Get your refund. I said, no, I'm not getting my refund. I didn't pay to get a refund. Come on, man. I don't pay for a refund. I pay, and then I pay my dues, right? That's the kind of person I'm at. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not 99%. I'm 100%, right? Now, it depends on how long I want to do it. That's just a whole different. But if I'm paid for something, I don't get a refund, man. It's not like a shirt that don't fit, right? It's not a shoe that don't fit. It's a business, right? Can't make a decision in 1 day and leave within this first 7 days. Like, what kind of decision is that? That's based upon, again, it's not your decision. It's literally an agreement that you've made. That's why you make a real hard decision. You're not thinking about 1 week, 1 month. And you know what's crazy? If you walk into my house today, or you walk into my mom's house today, she doesn't even remember being negative. You speak to her right now, she's like, I told my son the whole time, this is going to work, go hard. This is what she says. She is adamant that she was negative because it's been so long. And I've made, I've been thankful to the God that I've made, multiple 7 figures in the industry. And so now she doesn't even remember being negative. Now she speaks about it so highly. And I think, and this is what's going to happen to you. When you start winning, the people that are negative right now, they're going to forget they were negative. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to join your business. They're either going to join your business from the outside, where they're never in your business, but they know that you're doing something well, or they're actually going to join your business. But they ain't going to hate on you. They ain't going to hate on you no more. You know what they're going to hate on? They're going to hate on the next new person coming in. Let me get the lower threshold. They're the weakest ones, right? Everyone's a lower threshold at some point. When I heard about Brandon's story today, Brandon just hit 250 yesterday. Brandon Thompson, congratulations to him. And if you're in his group, congratulations to you. He said, his upline today said he wanted to leave the business in the first 30 days because he had a good corporate job. So he wanted to leave the business in the first 30 days. Imagine if he had left. Thousands of people, more than 15,000 people would have not been impacted because of Brandon, Bryce, Josh, Nate, all of them guys. They, absolutely crushing it, right? So that decision you make, eliminate circumstance, eliminate the thought of time, have a goal of time, but don't use an excuse of time. A lot of time people have a goal of time, but then an excuse of time. Or if I don't do it in this time, right? I'm telling you, there's people in the industry who have come to convention after convention after convention, and they've seen people get promoted off, and they see someone, go 7 figures in a trading account who signed up way after them, and they've seen all that. And you know what they've done? They done something that doesn't require no talent. How many of you want to do something that requires no talent? It means anyone can do it. They stuck around. That's what they did. They just stuck around, and then they end up winning. And then the third thing, of course, is the dream series. We want to block all of that out. So now we're past the decision. Now I know you guys, hopefully, if you're still on the call, you've made a decision. If you haven't, if you already made the decision before jumping on the call, that's even better. That makes sense for me. Okay. So let's go into the next step. Now this is 5 steps, by the way. So that's the first step. Make a decision. Okay. 5 steps to success. I won't say 5 steps to chairman, because remember, chairman might not be success for you. You might want more. You might want less. You might want trading, no networking. Success in this company is success for you, whatever you want it to be. I know some people on my team, for them, success is speaking at a national convention. For them, that is their, they want that, right? They have a lot of money. They don't care about the money. They want to empower and enrich a lot of people. They want to educate and they want to speak in front of an audience. That's a whole different thrill, whole different adrenaline. That's some of them have them goals. So it's whatever with you, right? So second step, remember, this is a marathon, but it's not a marathon jog. It's a marathon that includes sprints. Does that make sense? It's a long-term marathon that includes sprints. So it has these 90-day blitzes, these 60-day blitzes. Without it, slow and steady never wins the race. So don't feel like this is the Harry Turtle story where it's a long marathon and you just kind of have to ride it out. No, you're going to have to be strategic. You're going to have to work hard, but you're going to have to think long-term. I don't care if you hit Chairman 100 in 1 year, you're still going to have to think long-term, because getting Chairman 100 isn't the hardest thing. Keeping Chairman 100 is hard. I can tell you right now that Chairman 100 is not as hard as it looks. Even if it doesn't look hard, it's harder to keep. Marriage, it's not hard to do. It's hard to maintain. Gym, it's not hard to get the abs. It's hard to keep the abs. Right? That's how it goes. Exercise, walk, drive, anything that you lose practice on, anything you stop doing, you will get worse at. Does that make sense? So always be the practitioner in your company, in your business, in whatever it is you do. Be the main practitioner. Be the number 1 person in your team. Number 1 recruiter, right? Number 1 earner, number 1 presenter, number 1 communicator, number 1 helper, number 1 WhatsApp group messenger, right? If that even is a thing, you want to be that person, right? You don't want to get egotistic along the way. And I'm so blessed to have coaches who've kept their feet on the ground and so on. regardless of rank and so on. So that's always a plus. You know, 𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐻 is someone that has been a good friend of mine, and he ain't changed ever since I met him 3 years ago. He's been the same Latino rich brother, with a family man, and it's just, you know, great to have people like that on your phone. So yeah, second step, marathon mindset. Okay, long term with sprints in between. Okay, now next step, third step. How many of you agree that the longer you go in business, the more free you get in business, right? The longer you go in business, the more free you get in business, meaning that you have, you have more open conversations with your upline, more open conversation with your mentors. And it can seem sometimes a bit political over time, you know, because sometimes you're so close to someone that you're close enough to be a friend, but also not far enough to inspire no more. Does that make sense? So because you've been in the business so long, that sometimes people within your business, maybe it might be 6 months or 1 year, you're so close to them that the coachability goes out the window, right? And so that is something you always want to respect. The person or the people that have helped you, always treat them with respect. You know, me, I've known David now a long time. I've known Ivan now a long time, but I never speak to them as though I would speak to someone I've known for 3 years, just casually changing conversation. Yeah, I'm more open with them. Yeah, I have more jokes with them now, but I never lose that respect factor where they say, Zain, promote this to your team. It's a big call. And I think, oh, no, it's all good, D, man. My team already have a call going on. They're good with that. No, I always want to make sure that David, whether he's a big rank or not, I want to edify with my coachability. Because in the end of the day, when you're actually grinding, you don't anticipate the guidance that you get when you're actually doing the work. Because when you're doing the work, you feel like the results are coming in from the work. It's like cutting the tree. When you're cutting the tree, you're not actually grateful for sharpening the axe. But your coaches, that's exactly what they do. They make that tree come down quicker. You just don't notice it when you're cutting it. When you're cutting it, you feel like you're doing all the work. But it's in sharpening the axe that really brings down the tree. So never ever lose coachability. Always be, open for learning, open for education. Like I speak to my team a lot. I speak to so many people. But even now, if I was to do a call right now, many of the leaders that I've been with for the past 3 years would jump on with the notepad and pen. And that's the relationship you want to have. Because why? You would want that from your team. The reason why you should do that is because you would want that from your group. You would want that from people that have stuck around for 1, 2, 3 years. And because you would want that from your team, it's important that you do that for your upline. So then they see, okay, Zain's doing it for David, so I have to do it for Zain. This is how it works. But if I don't edify David, they ain't going to edify me. If I don't speak about 𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐻, they ain't going to edify me. That's just the ripple effect of network marketing. And you know what's great about that? The great thing about this, guys, is just a little scenario. Last year, 2019 March, I had my firstborn kid, baby boy. So grateful, beautiful, literally my world. And when he was born, I was literally very, inactive in the business because he was, my firstborn. I was living out, of course, with my wife, and it was just difficult because I'd never been used to it. I was 24 at the time, 23, 24 at the time. So I was thinking to myself, man, this is tough. And, my wife had a really, difficult post-pregnancy. So I had to do a lot of like sleepless nights and, getting used to it and stuff. And I remember I was so inactive in the business at some points. I was, I would show up for the events and stuff, but I would be so inactive on WhatsApp and so on and promotions. And I swear the amount of people within my business who were looking at external motivators because I had created that for them, it was such a blessing for me. So I knew whatever David was doing, my team were getting inspired by that. Even if I wasn't around, they're there for external reasons. So you always have external factors. You can't just could you imagine if I made it all about me? I never edify, I never promote my coaches. It would just be literally, if I went inactive, everyone would be like, oh, everyone's looking up like, oh, where is he, man? Oh, where is he going? Oh, okay, he's inactive. Okay, let me just wait for him then. No, because I've made them so close to David, I made them so close to Ivan and basically the whole company. There's people that do calls with Chairmen 100s and Chairmen 50s that even I haven't spoken to. So that is a blessing for me. And it definitely is something that you want to work on. And that all comes on coachability. The more humble and open you are to reach out to someone and say, hey, listen, we ain't spoke before, but I'd love for you to get on a call with my group. That's always great. Okay, it's a great thing because then your team now is connected. So now everyone on this call, 1,500 people on this call right now, boom, we're now connected. We now have a bond together, right? So you can reach out, right? So not all at once, because that's gonna be difficult, right? And I just had another baby about 2 days ago, a beautiful little girl, and we're done now. We're done. Next, with the fourth step. The fourth step for me is probably the sharp acts for yourself. If you're not much of a reader, like I'm not that good of a reader, but I'm a very good listener. So I prefer audios. When I listen to audios, what David told me is that, Zain, how many times do you drive in a day? I said, I'm driving a lot of the time in a day, whether that be to do home stuff or whether that be to do business stuff, or I'm driving at least, 1.5, 2 hours a day, different times. He said, imagine if you were to change, what you're doing in your car and just spend maybe not the whole 2 hours, but maybe just half an hour of that drive, just change it to something, success related, audio related, and your mind would just boom, switch. A rejection from someone doesn't even feel like a rejection when you've equipped yourself in the right way. It's like bulletproof. You're like bulletproof. And it's not just about how much money you're making. It's about, what's right. Regardless of what, because everything's a matter of opinion. When someone says something's right, it's their opinion. When you say something's right, it's also an opinion. There's no right and wrong. This training I'm doing for you guys right now, there's no fact to it. No one can come to me like, Zain, you told me something, man, it didn't work for me. Well, I didn't tell you something that's fact. I told you something that I done. I told you something that's my experience. If it worked for me, it can't work for you. For you, then I'm sorry, man. What can I tell you? So no one can ever come on stage and do a training and be like, whatever I tell you guys right now, it's gonna work. It's gonna if you guys just take this stuff down. How many times you had to train to do that? If you guys just take this stuff down that I tell you, this is it. This is the whole thing right here. Let me tell you guys something. If that was the whole thing, why wouldn't everyone be winning? Everyone would be winning, right? If they said do a presentation like this, and you're gonna get a sign up, then everyone will be getting signups, right? But there's differences with everyone. There's different market. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Someone negative coming in, you can do the cleanest presentation. They're out the door anyway. So it doesn't matter, right? So it's a numbers game. You talk about if me and you went to the gym together, we done a whole session. You done abs, I done abs, right? After 30 days, my abs look like there's no abs. And your abs are like structured, right? Your abs are defined. You're like, man, this is crazy. How you have 8 abs coming and I got none? And we done the same workouts. We woke up at the same time, same diet, same sleep. You know what's crazy? We look completely different. Why? Because our genetics are different, right? There's many, how long we train is different. How many breaks we took in between sets are different. How we breathed while we were training is different. How much water intake is different. Where we live in environment, pollution, etc. is different. What kind of equipment we used, is it good, bad? Different, right? Where's our maximum reps? Is it that amount of reps? Was your maximum more than that, or was your maximum less than that? These are all contributing factors. That's why you can't do exactly what I done and get exactly what I got. And that's the great thing. You can do exactly what I done and do it quicker than me. You can do exactly what I done and go Chairman 100 quicker than me. Isn't that great? Yeah, you can do exactly what I done and it can take you never. Like you can never do it. But that's in your court now, right? Now, are you someone that's going to risk it for the biscuit? That's on you, right? Are you someone that's going to quit and forget? That's on you, right? So it's all about experiences. Every trainer is about experiences. So 4th step, put in at least half an hour. Put in half an hour of personal development every day. And I promise you, I don't care. I don't know if your money gets bigger, you will get bigger. That's a guarantee for me. I don't know if your money will get bigger, your training account will get bigger, your business will get bigger. I know you will get bigger. I know you will get better. That's a guarantee for me. Okay. And then the 5th step is, of course, Zain, but what's the secret, bro? Work, man. You got to do the numbers, right? There is no, no one's going to come out the sky and sign up under your link. God's not going to give someone your referral link and they're going to sign up and build a team of 1,000 people. No, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to put it in. And guess what? Your work ethic should be higher when things are better. Your work ethic should be higher when things are better. Right? So now that everything's going hard and everything's going, everyone's popping ranks and it's been crazy in the company, and you should work harder. Right? You shouldn't be cruise sailing right now. Hope, when the momentum's coming, you just, hey, welcome, man. Welcome to the team, man. No, do what you done when there was no momentum. While there's momentum, you're going to be off. They're going to catch you then. Right? Everything's strategic. Everything's on you. You see your business better than anyone else. My daughter was being born and I knew the due date. I said to my, okay, how can I wrap up Chairmen 100 before the baby comes? I know I'm going to be a little bit inactive, right? I'm not going to be as hard in the business because it's going to be a whole nother cycle. And I said, if I can do it a month before due date, and that way I have a month to not just hit Chairmen 100, but go through it. And that was the big blessing. I hit Chairmen 100 May 13th. And, my daughter was born June 25th. So I had about 5 weeks of a Chairmen 100 working hard. So I had a chance to just go through it, and go hard. And, and then when you're inactive, the leverage comes in. And so because you've done something once, you get paid for it over and over again. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that what we say about residual income? It's residual work too. You do residual work, your work will get paid for you when you're not even there, right? John Paul Getty, the first documented billionaire, he said, I'll rather make 1% of 100 people's efforts than make 100% of my own. I don't have 100 hours in a day, but if my business can do 100 hours through 100 people doing 1 hour, that's amazing. Because that means 100 people only doing 1 hour, but my business is doing 100. McDonald's revenue is why? Revenue is what? Billions every single month. Why? Because they have 33,000 franchises. They can't do billions from one store in London. And so we're franchising ourselves into this business. Okay. Now, I want you guys to have a little interactivity with me. You don't have to put this on the chat box, by the way. I know some people are going to put 10 and some people are going to put 1 and some people are going to put 5. So it really is unnecessary to put on the chat. Here's something you can do though. Look in the mirror and do it. Because then you can't lie to yourself because no one else is there but you. Look in the mirror and say, I'm a 7 on this. I'm a 7 with this. I'm a 5 with this. And you look at components that you think are necessities to your business. So I would say necessities, like I would say 4 of the biggest necessities in this industry are presenting, right? Launching, right? Promoting, and personal development. These are the 4 things that I feel like necessities in the business. If you don't have to get someone in, get them into their 30, 60, 90-day game plan launching, if you know how to promote events and you know how to develop yourself and your group, those are the 4 fundamentals. If you can do those 4 fundamentals, I believe it's a big plus, massive plus. But then you have to rate yourself. Where are you from 1 to 10? But you can do other things. Well, you can rate yourself on closing. You can rate yourself on trading. You can rate yourself on, retention. It could be anything. But if you're real with yourself, that way you know. Okay, if I'm a 7, what can I do to make it a 10? Right? Because I don't want to leave no stone unturned. I want to do as much as I can with whatever time I have available. I want you guys to understand something. This is, and it's so cliche, but we only have one life. Right? We're only going to do this thing one time. No one here is getting any younger. Right? So if you can be 18, this is it. 25, this is it. 35, this is it. Right? And so if this is it, you might as well do it properly. Right? You might as well do it properly. So this is why always be real with yourself in terms of rating. It definitely will help you. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you 5 steps to ranking up before we finish off. Okay? 5 steps to ranking up. Okay? I believe the 5 steps for me are these 5 steps were a big plus when I found out about these, and I feel like, again, these are not necessarily going to help you rank up. They're what's going to be with you. This isn't a rank up for Chairman 100, Chairman 50. It's ranking up in all areas of life, right? It could be a body, right? A perfect physique you want to get. How do you rank up for that, right? So these are the aspects that might help you. Okay. First thing, what gets added into your life by achieving that pinnacle? Okay. What gets added? You want to write this stuff down. What comes in when that flyer goes out? Isn't that great? What comes in when that flyer goes out? Man, new car, maybe mom's retired now, maybe new house, maybe no mortgage, maybe kids are secure, right? What gets added in when the flyer goes out, right? You want to write this stuff down. Okay, very important. The more stuff that's on there, the harder you gotta go, because you have so many more reasons to get it. Right? You got one thing that I want to get my new car. Yeah, okay. But if you have all the stuff that I just mentioned, man, you have to be working overtime, right? Because you have so much people to prove. You have so many things to do. With that flyer going out, you got so much to gain, right? So much to add. Next thing, what is the blueprint? Because a rank without blueprint, oh no, let me reword that. Progress without blueprint is a wish. I hope, no, blueprint, right? What is the blueprint? And that blueprint, again, is something, I can do a whole training on just the blueprint. Now, obviously, we don't have time today, but you want to get with your upline, C25, C10. If you're a P1, P6, get with your C10s, get with your C25s, C50s. Just tell them, hey, listen, you went chairman, you must have had a blueprint, man. Show me your blueprint. Just tell me what you've done, and hopefully that will work for me. Maybe I can add that blueprint into my schedule. If it works, I can add it in. Right? And then if it doesn't work in 90 days, you just choose another blueprint. Right? The committed don't put expectation. Remember, they don't put circumstances, time, and naysayers into their blueprint, into their decision. Right? Those 3 things, you want to block them out. Right? So what is blueprint? That's something you need to work on, right? To get to that thing. Now, time blocking. This is very important. Remember I spoke to you guys about the marathon that includes some sprints. Now, if you can do, remember, it's not about what you do. It's about what time you do it in, right? It's not about what you do. It's about what time you do it in. That's why I said work hard when momentum is high. So if you pick, think about it. If you can do a little of a lot inside a short amount of time, it's going to guide you so much more. For example, if you're doing 100 hours a month, right? Imagine if you've done 100 hours a week. Does that make sense? If you were doing 100 hours a month, imagine if you've done 100 hours a week. Now you've time blocked, right? What was happening in a month is now happening in a week in your business. So realize that it's so important that you're blocking your times and you're putting all your effort into one area. Let me give you an example. If you were going out, right, and you were adding, there was a fire, right, and you were adding small amount of wood every now and so. Every now and so you're adding some wood. The fire is getting bigger, fire's getting bigger, fire's getting bigger. You're adding some wood. But can you imagine if one day you got like a group of people and everyone just added wood on that day? Like everyone, where would that fire be? It will be crazy, right? Because you've done so much in so little. Because your normal business is going to run as it is. But this is why teams do incentives. This is why teams do promotions and retreats, because what they're doing is they're time blocking all of their energy. Instead of doing 1 year of that work, they do it in 90 days. They're still going to do their 1 year of work, but that 1 year gets tied into 90 days, right? Or 60 days or whatever it might be, right? Very, very important to time block your businesses. This is what leads to burnout, when you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again. The only time you're doing that is because the reason why you're doing that is the reason why you're feeling that you're burnt out is because you're not shifting and changing within a shorter time frame. You're not having them sprints. You're just jogging and it's getting boring. And so you're going to have to incorporate those sprints, right? So that's so important into your business, guys. Make sure you're putting in that extra for the 60, 90 days. For me, I remember in 2017, it took me 6 months to go Chairman 10. I was Chairman 10 2017 November. And I remember I said, you know what, I need to be a Chairman 25 in the convention. And the convention was in March, right? So I said, you know what? I need to boost my momentum. I need to go hard like right now because I want to be a Chairman 25 by March. So in November, from November, December, January, so December, January, February, that 90 days, I said I'm gonna put in 750 customers for Chairman 25. And my mission, my blueprint was to promote as many P2Ks as possible. In December and January alone, we were able to promote 12 P2000s in those 2 months. I was a Chairman 25 30 days later. What I had done in 6 months, I done it in 30 days. Well, when I say in terms of blueprint, is me, but in terms of the business, it was a team effort, right? So you can make that plan. It can be you, right? So, and this is the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing. I didn't want to be a Chairman 50 before Vegas. I didn't want to be a Chairman 50 and then get promoted to Chairman 50 in Miami. So I had 2 promotions, because if I get promoted to Chairman 50 in Vegas, where's my Chairman 10 trophy? I'm thinking, man, no, stay at Chairman 25. Imagine, I wasn't even trying to go Chairman 50. It was the blueprint. Is it? Boom, everyone was going P2. We hit Chairman 50 in February. About 2 weeks before the Vegas convention, I was Chairman 50. So what I had not done in 6 months, I done triple that. Well, we done triple that in 3 months. And so that is the beauty of time blocking. Doing something that you could have done in a year, condensing that time. Because remember, 12 P2000s getting promoted in 12 months is inspiring, but it's not that inspiring as getting them promoted in 30 days. Same work, 30 days, right? They were going to get promoted anyway, but we done it in a short time frame. Okay, so that's time blocking. Next thing, 4th thing, top-down recruiting. Make sure you focus not just on the element of people that you're leveled with, but also people on the level that are higher up. Today on social media, we have people signing up that have hundreds of thousands of followers, and their sponsors have like a couple thousand. So don't feel like I can only speak to people, because naturally this is what we do. We speak to people who are on our level or lower. Can we agree on that? Every one of us, we try to speak to people who are making the money that we're making. If we're broke, we're speaking to broke people, or we're speaking to people who are ultra broke, right? So if they're not doing well, we hardly want to speak to people who are not, we hardly want to speak to people who are doing very well, because we feel like because we're broke, they're going to be like, no. How are you going to tell me what to do, man? You're broke. Now, even if that person does that, so what? You can still try, right? You can still try, because imagine if he says yes. Let me give you an example. Alex Morton was a 7-figure earner. Matt and Jason were not even 6-figure earners. They were not even 6-figure earners. They were 5-figure a year earners. They were making $5,000 a month. Alex was making 6 figures a month, man. Jason and Matt signed up Alex. And so this is why it's so important that we understand that we can build top down, not just down up. Right? A lot of people recruit my way down. When I get some people, I'm going to start blowing up. When I make some money, I'm going to go to the wealthy guys. The wealthy guys are going to see my Rolex. They're going to get involved. Yeah, they might, but that don't mean doesn't mean you can't sign up the person who's wearing a Rolex when you ain't even got a watch. That don't mean that. You can sign up the person with a Rolex, even if you ain't got. If the person's a visionary, he ain't going to see you. He's going to see the opportunity. You're just going to be the guide, right? You know what's crazy? I'm not the most, like, I'm a religious individual in terms of I pray, but I'm not the most religious. And I'm not someone who preaches my religion onto people, right? And I remember sitting in the commission. I remember David said to me, he said, Zain, I want to learn more about the Islam religion. because I feel like it's very close to Christianity and I want to learn a little bit more about it. And I said, no problem. And I sent him some stuff on WhatsApp, and we speak about certain things here and there. And I said to him, I said, how come you reached out to do that? He said, the reason why I reached out is because I portray, my religion so openly that he had a chance to then come to me and be like, you know what? I know you're not the most religious, but I want to find out some more. Maybe if I had never done that, he would never have come to me with that. So always be open to share your business with anyone, regardless if it's the most religious person or not religious person. You can always reach out. You don't know who's going to benefit. So you always want to be the worst thing I could have done is not done that. So David never know I'm Muslim. He never know. So he can never ask. And that's a lack of a society for him to get education on the religion, because he doesn't have many Muslim people around him. Does that make sense? So important that you can be the savior just by being the message. You don't have to be the big icon, right? You can just be the message, and naturally, that is what can happen. Okay, and it can top down recruiting. That's how it will go. That's how it really goes. And then the fifth thing is track and tweak. A lot of people don't do this. Again, that's when people say burnout. The reason why people say burnout is because they're doing the same thing. There's no impro. There's no diversity. There's no implementations, incentives, promotions. There's no interventions. There's nothing. It's just the same damn thing. And so when that happens, naturally everyone gets bored, right? Could you imagine going to the same session every day in the gym, like the same chest workout? You know what your body does? Your body goes into something called plateau, right? Your body does not, you can be doing the greatest exercises, and then your body, you know what it says? Oh, Zain, I already done this one, man. We done this one last week. I know about this. Your body will literally say, yep, we've done this. We felt this. And your muscles will be like, yeah, no, you're probably going to have to put more weight on. And even when you put more weight on, because it's the same extension, it's still not going to grow as much as you diversify it. Change from resistance to weights to body weights. And then your body will be like, whoa, Zain, we haven't done this motion before. Wow. This will increase. This will change something, right? Now, will it change it for the better all the time? No. That can lead to injury. That can lead to backtrack. That can lead to consolidations. That can lead to, plateau even, momentous plateau, continuous plateau. So it's not, you're not doing it as a guarantee, but you know what you're doing? You're tracking and tweaking. Anything that you don't track doesn't grow. Anything that you don't tweak, don't change. So if you do both, it's very good. Okay. Now I would recommend doing this every 90 days. Track and tweak your business every 90 days. Not 30 days. 30 days is too short. 90 days. Okay. Now, who wants to know what to do next? Just to wrap up. Who wants to know what to do next? Right? Because this whole game is a sorting game. This is a sort game, right? We sort through. And so this is the best way I feel like I've seen it in the industry. When you want to go chairman, when you want to go rank up, this is what it takes. Presentation after presentation after presentation after presentation. This is what it takes, right? There's only two ways you make money in this company. Two ways. There's no other way. There's only two ways. One is getting someone on the system after a presentation. Mostly you give them a presentation, they'll sign up. Second is put a trade in. Those are the only two ways you make money in IM. You don't make money for coming to these calls. You don't make money for looking good. You don't make money for social media. You make money for putting someone on the system and putting in a trade. That's it. So if a PBR leads to one of those things, you go and do it as much as you can. You get as much money. You don't get paid for anything else. This is the thing that people wait for. They wait for the perfect training. They on every training, don't do one presentation in the whole semester. Oh man, this IM thing, bro. I've been on it, bro. I've been banging it out. What have you done? You've been on every call, on every chat box. Yeah, let's go. You get paid for two things, bro. Getting someone on the system, opening the trade. That's it. You ain't done those two. You ain't done those two things. Yeah. You're part of the company, but you ain't in the company. You're part of the team, but you ain't doing what the team is doing. Don't worry about the team. Don't worry about the company. Do what the system tells you. Do what the business tells you, and you'll get paid. Okay. And finally, once you do those presentations, notice that there's going to be some things which are good, bad, and so people are good, bad. And your goal is this. This is exactly what you do. You dig through the dirt to find the gold. Some people who you think are gold right now are not gold. They will come out to their true self. See, the thing about this industry, right, is that people, you discover yourself in this industry. You discover who you are in this industry. You discover whether you're a quitter. You discover whether you have real heart. Because if you really want to do this thing, it's going to take some heart. And so people are afraid that they'll find themselves. And so they quit before that even happens. Right? So you got to dig through the dirt to find the gold. Right? And there's a lot of gold out there. I'm sure you guys have seen there's more than 300 chairmen in the company. That's a lot of gold. Right? You have 10 of those in your team, you're a chairman 100. Just 10. And that's maximum. You can have 5 to 10. Like I had 7. No, I had 6 when I hit Chairman 100. Now there's 8. So you can have 5 to 10 Chairman 100s. You can have 5 to 10 Chairman 10s, and you can be a Chairman 100. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of dirt, but there's also a lot of gold. All right, it's our job to have the shovels in play. Okay, so I hope this training has been beneficial to everyone. So someone says, what means PBR? It means private business reception, or personal business reception, however you want to say it. So PBR stands for private business reception. Okay, so I hope this information has been a true benefactor to you. Hopefully this business is very simple. You do what needs to be done, you'll get paid the dues. It's very transparent. Everything's to the point. And so hopefully everyone here, regardless of what team you're in, I hope you can implement some of these things. And if you do, my goal is just to be in your testimony. Whatever success you have in the company, just make sure that you do let me know if some of this training has helped you in order to input that kind of promotion that you've had, or any kind of success. It doesn't have to be a promotion. Any kind of success that you had. You might have closed one person differently because of this training. Anything, just let me know. And just have me in your heart, have me in your testimonials, and have me in your prayers, and my family in your prayers. And I thank you all. Take care, guys, and have a great, great rest of the weekend. Bye-bye. And this is all recorded, by the way, so it should come out. The company should issue it at some point.